The topic tonight is public speaks. And anyone who's been attending North Canton Council meetings for a number of years knows that Chuck Osborne, former councilman, has been problematic, at least in the eyes of not just Councilman Foltz, but a number of councilmen and council ladies here in North Canton. And and I think, and if I'm wrong on this, correct me, that you're the author of the 5-minute rule.
Yes.
And
well, let me give you some background.
Okay.
That started with one of my constituents that lived in Ward 1, Susie Burnett. This, I don't know the exact date, it might probably have been 8 years ago or so, was upset because public speaks just ran on and on and on for certain individuals who wanted to give their point of view, which is fine to a point, as I said earlier, because we have to conduct a meeting. We are here before the meeting, after the meeting. We're accessible at home through our phone numbers and so forth. So she brought it to our attention. I did a review at that time with all the different government localities around us and entities. And we decided that 5 minutes would be more than ample time to discuss your point of view. We don't have a sign up. We don't know the topic you're going to discuss. We figured 5 minutes is more than enough time to get your point of view across. So that said, I still feel we have one of the most liberal public speaks portions in the meeting of anybody around, of any township or cities in Stark County. So I'll stand on the record in that. I'm very proud of that. That's all I can say on that matter.
Okay.
If you have any other...
Well, with respect to Mr. Osborne, the situation, Mr. former Councilman Wechter came in, and I think that he spoke for 20, 25 minutes or something like that.
Mr. Wechter was engaged by us during a very passionate situation with the tree trimming that's recently affected the city,
Right.
as we know. I did make a motion after he had his 5 minutes for him to continue, and it was supported by this council. So I think that's more the exception than the rule. Okay. I'm not trying to usurp the council president's authority in this situation. All I can say is I think we're more than professional with people that want to come up and address council. I don't have any other opinion than the record for Mr. Osborne or anybody else who wants to address council. You have to be professional. If you were told your time limit's up, then you should take your seat. There should be no debating. I made a motion, and this council supported it. To one of the constituents that comes up here maybe every 3 or 4 years has something to say to council or to address us in public speaks. That's quite different than a regular attendee here that has 5 minutes, more than that in many instances. That's why I don't necessarily agree with his opinion. I'll respect his opinion as long as he's respectful to this council body when he is told that it's time for him to take a seat.
Is that the key with Mr. Osborne? Civility and respect?
Absolutely.
In terms of getting more time?
Absolutely. You know, I learned in second grade you raised your hand before you spoke in front of the class. There's no difference here. We have a responsibility, and we conduct public meetings, that they should be professional. There can be different point of view, and I welcome those. But there's a way you should conduct yourself as a public official and as someone attending the meeting that wants to participate. And I don't think that's always adhered to.
Under different circumstances, let's say Mr. Osborne's up and it's obvious that he needs more time, he's being civil, he's being, to use your word, he's being professional. Could you see yourself making a similar motion?
I think that would depend on the situation.
Okay.
Okay? But the record stands for itself. Mr. Osborne's behavior or our running of our council meeting stands on the record. So you feel to review the record with Mr. Osborne recently and how it was addressed with the council president. I support Mr. Snyder as a council president, and I think it doesn't matter whether we agree with it or not. If you were told to take your seat, you should take it.
Now
there should be no other disruptions, Martin. I mean, it's a public meeting.
There's been some talk that you want to ban Mr. Osborne.
Well, listen, I just want a professional meeting here. That's all. It's not about the content. It's the behavior. And I'll just leave it at that. The record stands for itself. Mr. Osborne answers for his behavior at these meetings, as we all do. I don't have any further comment on anything.
You still going to ask him for a ban, or depending on his future conduct?
Listen. You know, these things happen at certain meetings, and we go forward. Who knows what the future holds with that?
That's the past as far as you're concerned.
Well, yeah, for now.